Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Ashley's Treasure, and today we're going to make a fun birthday card. And first I am making a card that's going to fit this envelope, which is 4 3/4 by 6.5. So the card will be 6 1/4 by 4.5 inches. And so once I realized what I wanted to do, I wanted to use this embossing folder, but the card was too big. There was about 1/2 inch too long. So I'm starting all over again, and I am going to make it 5 3/4 by 4 1/8. And here, now it fits in the embossing folder just right. So now I get my Sizzix out, my Big Shot, and it worked perfect. I only had to run it through once. And look at the result. Next I'm going to be using the Sky Blue Recollections cardstock paper, and I need the measurements 6 by 3 3/8. So the 4 3/8 I need to times by 2 in order to make a card out of it, and so it'll be 8 6/8, which divided by 2 would be 8, well, the fraction, so it would be 8 3/4 to break it down. And so here, starting at 8 3/4, and now 6 inches. Now I'm going to get the scoreboard out and score at 4 3/8 down the center to fold it in half. Next I'm going to be using some Tim Holtz Thinlit dies to cut letters out. I'm going to use the big ones, and I used this scrap piece of paper. Everything worked great. And then I also used the T and H from the smaller letter, so it's going to be Happy Birthday. And then I'm going to use this Storytell scrapbook paper from Vicki Boutin. I was debating between this daisies or else these roses. I could not make up my mind, so I end up cutting out some of both and trying them both out to see which one I liked most. And I'm going to use this die to do the 1 and the 3, which is another Sizzix. So here I am cutting out a rectangle of the roses to make sure I have enough room to die cut the 1 and the 3 out, and doing the same amount on the daisies. And then placing it on to make sure I had to cut them in half, of course, because the 1 and the 3 is not next to each other, so I had to cut enough off to fit the 1 and enough for the 3. And this one I actually messed up on. I ended up having to do it again. So here is the daisies. I'm placing it just right. The 3 on the roses I accidentally pushed too far down, so the bottom of the 3 was missing. So this time I'm making sure that it's completely covered, and I'll put some washi tape over to help keep it in place, and put it through my Sizzix, and it cut perfectly. I only had to have it go through once. Sorry if you hear some noises in the back. There is a thunderstorm going on, and it is very loud. There's a lot of lightning and thunder, so sorry about that. I can't control the weather. But here on the daisies, the 3 turned out perfect, and here is the 1. So cute. Love it. So I redid the 3 for the roses, and I could not make up my mind. I was debating back and forth which one looked better. I liked the daisies more, I think, to go with that blue, but I think it was too light being white against white. I think that's what was bugging me. So I got some more black cardstock, the same scraps I had from that I used to punch out the Happy Birthday, and I'm going to trace with a pencil, and I did it backwards. I flipped the letters over so that the pencil won't show, because I'm going to be cutting them out to have a nice thin border around the letters so it'll stand out just like the black letters will. And then, so this way when I cut it out, I don't have to erase it. It'll be hidden. And here I'm going to fussy cut the one up, but have like a nice border around it. So I won't be cutting straight on the line. I'll leave a little bit of a distance from it. And this is what it's going to look like. And that made a huge difference, being against the white and making it fit in with the black letters. And so I'm debating between the flowers or the daisies still. And I'm going to hurry up and do the 3 off camera. And this is what it's going to look like. So daisies or roses. Which one did you like more? Do you prefer the white daisies or the colorful roses with the blue in the background? So I'm lining up just right to get an idea of what it's going to look like. And I noticed I needed something. I needed like 1/16 inch border of black around it, between the white and the sky blue cardstock. So it's going to be a 1/4 of an inch bigger than before. So I'm going to cut at 4 1/4. And then 5 7/8. It's a sliver less than 6 inches. And see, now it has that slight black border around it, which makes a huge difference. Now it all goes together. So I'm lining it up to see what it looks like, and I like this so much more. So now I'm going to get my ATG gun out and start taping the back of it. I do, all 4 sides and a little bit in the center. And then I'm going to get my art glitter glue. Since this is, I use my embossing folder, it's not all flat, I'm going to do all 4 sides of my art glitter glue so I know that it's going to stay there no matter what, because that glue works amazing. And then get the black paper cardstock and line it up just right, which I have to get right, because if not, it is not coming off, because it sticks so well, so fast, and with the ATG gun tape as well. And so I used my tool, flipped it over, and varnished it to make it all stuck on well. No air bubbles. Next, I'm going to just use my ATG gun, my adhesive tape gun, again on all 4 sides and a little bit down the center to glue onto the blue card itself. I wasn't worried about using the art glitter glue because it's all flat. Lining it up just right, just eyeballing it. And then again, I'm going to flip it over and varnish it to make sure it's all stuck well. And now I'm going to start gluing the letters onto the black cardstock that I cut out, trying to line it up just right. And now it's time for the 3. Trying to remember to put the needle in so it won't dry out on me. And then I noticed on the bottom of the 3, I didn't fussy cut it out the best. It still had like a bump, that like extra part that needed to be smoothed out. So I'm getting my fussy cutting scissors out and kind of smoothing that out a little bit, or else that would drive me nuts. Alright, Now I was seeing what it looks like, and I had this placed just where I wanted it to, so I went from the center out. I'm going to glue the 3 down first, and I actually didn't use a ruler because it's hard to believe. When I need it, I couldn't find my T ruler. It's clear. I need to like use some alcohol ink or something so I can find it, because every time I need it I can't find it because it's completely clear. So I did the center first, and then so I did the 3, and now I'm going to go out and do the 1 and then the T and then the H. And I just eyeballed it and hoped for the best, and it looked pretty straight. And then this is when the baby started to wake up. So many hours later, I went back trying to glue the letters on. I got this ruler out and tried to center it as much as I can. I started from the center and worked my way out. So I started with the H, then the D, and then the A, then the Y, and then back to the other side, the T, the R, the I, then the B. And of course, I am using the art glitter glue again because these are quite small and thin, and being glued onto the dimensional, since I used the embossing folder, it has that dimension, so that way I know it's stuck well. And it worked pretty good. I got it pretty centered and all straight because I kept pressing it against the ruler so it'll be all lined up just right. And now it's time to do the happy on the top. Again, the first P is the, being 5 letters, I did that in the center. And then it seems like I did every letter like half an inch so they're the same distance apart. Doing the next P, and then half an inch apart, I'm going to center the Y. And then I'm going to do the A half an inch away from the first P. And then center the H half an inch from the Y, or the A. I think it looks pretty good. So I'm just kind of pressing them down, of course, flipping it over again, and pressing them all down to make sure they're all stuck on really well. What do you think? I kind of like it. I liked the daisies a lot more than the flowers. And then this is the inside that I did. I did a fun little thing where, all the months, days, hours, seconds for 13 years, how much we love this special person we made this card for. And again, I just used my ATG gun to glue it in the back. And yeah, I hope you like this. I really liked it. It was a lot of fun. I hope this might give you a simple idea to make a birthday card. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Talk to you later. Bye!